Okay, everyone. So today I want to give a quick demo of the Pro version. This one is uh, targeted more towards shops, and the process is the same as the perpetual license. The Pro version is going to be a subscription. The perpetual license is it's just a one-time payment, and you keep it forever. But it has a limit of one car. The the Pro version doesn't have any car limits, so you can have as many as you like. And so the way this works is I already added a car because I was running some tests. So I'm gonna show you the edit screen, which is the same as the new car screen. And here you're gonna put the car name, the customer name. The perpetual license doesn't have this section. Tuner name doesn't have this section. Client details it doesn't have. Then everything else is the same. The front stage topology, we're going to do a three-way speaker system, all active. Rear channels, I put this here. I don't believe in rear channels, but I put it here for the people that do. I don't have a front sub, so I'm just going to put a main sub. And for Helix owners, for Helix DSP owners, select the EQ type, audio tech feature, because this is going to trigger the functionality to copy and paste from REW or from the flatliner tuning tool to the Helix processor, and I'm going to demo that. The REW connection, if you want to do a custom connection, feel free to change this. If you have no idea what you're doing, just leave it the way it is. And this is only available on the Pro version, just in case you want to host the REW somewhere else, but you can leave it like that. And the crossover points for the tuning curve. Okay, this is not necessarily what's going to be on your processor, but this is the tuning curve. Okay, and now we go to save the changes. So we have the setting, and then we can go back to your cars. This is a list of cars. Right now I only have this one, but the Pro version can have many, no limit actually. So we're gonna go to start. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I've already picked a tuning curve, so this is where you pick your tuning curve. You can pick anything and then change it later. So I picked the FLT Resonix LB Dark FLT Flatliner Tuning Resonix Layback Dark. This is a butchered Resonix layback curve that I like, and so that's what I'm gonna use. And then we're gonna go to import RTA scans. I've already done one test just to make sure this works for this demo. This is my Twitter, but if you go to the other drivers here, it shows that I only capture the one. So we're just gonna continue capturing the rest, and yep, so let's go. I'm gonna stop talking and I'm going to start capturing. Sorry, I have to keep talking. So I just wanted to show you guys that I have a preset that I call for tuning that it doesn't have any EQ, any time alignment, nothing, right? Everything is set to 0. And I use this for to start tunes from scratch. So yeah, so we're starting with no tune. So let's continue with the next driver. check that my subwoofer is not too loud. Okay, my subwoofer is not too loud, so let me enable it. And we're gonna scan the sub. Yep. And for scanning, I'm using the moving microphone method. If you don't know what that is, check out Rocat's video on that. He explains it really well. So we have our scans, right? Cool. So we have everything. My mid basses are super hot. We need to tame them. And everything as far as levels looks pretty good, but that's okay. If your levels are not 100%, don't worry about it. We're gonna cover that. So now we go to the EQ settings. And what's gonna happen here, this is your target curve and nothing selected. If I select like the left tweeter, right, it shows, so it's thinking right now, all right, so it's going out to REW and then it's sending the target curve and it's sending the scan to calculate the target level, okay? So whatever comes back as the level is what is being calculated by REW. You don't have to keep that. You can change it to whatever you want with this, right? So you can change it to whatever. And let's have it recalculate. Let's click on another driver and then back to this one and let it recalculate. And then another thing that is being calculated is the where we're gonna start the EQ. Okay, so as you can see, it goes all the way down to here. This is a calculation. This calculation I've made. This is not a REW. I'm taking the peak and I'm going 25 dBs down, and that's where I set it. It's a safe place, but this can be changed. You can take this slider and move it here. You see where the line changes here. I'm gonna move it all the way to there, and this is gonna be my range for like maybe from like 500 to 20K for the tweeter. So now we go to generate EQ here for the tweeter. And REW is going crazy. See, it's doing all this stuff because I'm sending, okay, Joe clone. Oh, great. Exit REW, what's happening here? So it did return the EQ, but it has to exit, so we're gonna open it again. That is a fail with REW after the fact because it did return the EQ curve. The green one is the predicted EQ. So now, since we already set it up to start with the API, so the API, so it started, and just make sure that my sound card is the same, IMM6, yeah, we're good, so we're good. Okay, so let's continue. We're gonna go to here, let it calculate. Okay, and now we're gonna move this a little bit. I think me moving this is what messed up the EQ, but let's click on generate EQ. And it should return with the green curve, which is the predicted EQ. All right, so that's the green one. And then if you scroll down, these are all your EQ parameters, okay? It's all the PKs, and you have a high shelf and a low shelf. And here you see, once you scan, you get this button that says ATF copy. So we're gonna leave that. And we're gonna move to the next one. And this is what I wanted to show you. This is where the target curve doesn't necessarily match the scan. So my scan here is a little bit falling short. So I'm either gonna have to lower the level on the target curve like that. So if here I can lower it a little bit, but my other driver, I have to lower it a little bit more. So I already know this already. You see all this huge gap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand I'm not going to change the tuning curve because I don't want to change it, but I'm going to change the crossover points at the DSP, okay, to fix this. So let's do that. So we go to the DSP, so we go the front left, it's going from 400, so let's make it go to 300. And from 1800, I think we're gonna go to 2000, I think should be okay. And we're gonna change the other one. And I know what some of you are gonna tell me, yes, I know I can lock the drivers and change them both at the same time, but I don't wanna do that. So there, so we're changing that. So now we're gonna rescan the mids. Let's go back to our DA scans. We're just gonna override what we have. And so let's do the left here. So when it changes, I know it's done. So it opened up a little bit more. So let's go back to the EQ settings, and it should reflect the new scans. And our target curve should fit a little bit better. So we're generating the target. So that's a little bit better. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna lower it a little bit like that. Let's leave it at 68.5. That's fine. So the level is here, 68.5, and we're gonna do generate EQ. That's okay, that's good. So here it doesn't follow too well, but I don't think it's that important down there. But I'm gonna do it just in case, just to show that you guys can do it if you want. Some people are perfectionists, so for you guys, this should match a little bit better. There we go. So I'm not boosting this. Okay, it's too low to boost. I mean, I can change the boost, but I'm not gonna do that. So let's just do the other driver. Let it generate the target. Okay, the other one 68.5. So we have room to lower this one a little bit, and I think that is fine. And I'm gonna move this to match the other one, and this is probably not gonna do anything, but as long as everything else is fine, then I'm happy. All right, so that looks actually very good. So now let's do the other drivers. No, I don't need to change. Let's just go the mid bass, let it calculate. And my mid bass is, I have this 8-channel amp, and my mid bass drivers are bridged, so they're super hot. So I can lower it a little bit. And let me expand this all the way to here. And on the left side, I'm not gonna expand too much because that's getting into the noise, you know, my background noise. So let's generate the EQ. And of course, the normal license has all of this. I am going to tell you guys the difference when I get there. So that's not bad. I mean, we can boost this a little bit, but I mean, we can try it to see what we get. Let's boost all the way to 9. Just for kicks, see what we get. Since I'm going to be lower, no, it doesn't. So the EQ doesn't want to mess with this. So let's just leave it like that. And let me lower it back to 6, because then on the other one it's going to be... and I usually like to have the curve just below my scan. I like to have my target just below the scan, because I don't want to boost too much. So something like that I think is fine. And then the left range, we're going to leave it. And then this one, we're just going to cut a little bit and generate EQ. So that's fine. We can set it to boost so it matches better. Since I'm lowering my levels, this is a little bit more, it has a lot more, I don't know, jagged. It's more of a jagged edge. It didn't EQ too much because I capped the boost at 6. So if we cap it at 12, it's going to be okay, because I'm going to be lowering the level of my mid basses, because I know they're super hot. So if I boost a lot, I know that I'm going to cut a lot later, and it doesn't want to EQ anymore. So I think that's going to be it. Let me just narrow it a little bit and do it again, because this is not the tool that is doing this. REW, it does that too. So if you mess with the margins and the levels, you get a good EQ from REW. That's it. So just filling with it a little bit, you're gonna get a good EQ. So this one is good, right? So you saw how I did that, and you can do that too. So here, we're gonna do the sub. Now my sub is super hot, right? So I have enough headroom to bring the curve down to do that, right? So I don't care if I lose this, because my subs I have a lot of power on the subs. I have a lot of headroom. And just leave it. It's not gonna boost to 12 because there's nothing to boost. Maybe it's gonna boost this a little bit. Let me open it a little bit more so it follows the curve like all the way down here. And let's generate the EQ. I'm not gonna have anything boosting to 12 because there's nothing on the curve to boost to 12. Okay, so that's not that good. So let me lower my target even more and generate. And like I said, I don't care if my sub it's a little bit lower here, because that's perfect, because I have a lot of power on the sub, so I can always turn up the volume and it'll kick in hard. Okay, so now we have this, right? So now to the magic, okay, the ATF copy. So what we're gonna do is, I want to copy from here on my left tweeter to my tweeter on the processor. So I select my left tweeter and then click on ATF copy and click OK. So there they are, right? Let's do this quickly. I don't want to waste time with this. There it is. Front left mid, ATF copy, done. Right mid, ATF copy, done. Front left low is mid bass, this one copy, done. Front right low, my other mid bass, done. Subwoofer. So I have two channels, but they're putting out a mono signal. So we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this. And again, I know I can link them, but this is so quick that I don't care. Done. Okay, so the EQ is done. Let's move on to the next step. We're gonna set the levels. So now with the EQ, now we have to scan again to see where the levels are with the EQ already applied to it, okay? So let me, I'm not gonna save this preset yet. I'm just gonna leave it like that. So let's start scanning again. Maybe make sure that my my ping noise is playing. I don't want to see this. Okay, so let me unmute. No, I got nothing playing. So something happened to my ping noise. So now it's playing. Let me turn it up a little bit because with the EQ I did some cuts. And all right, so let's scan. So let's do the all right, so we have our scans and we have our tuning curve. So what I'm going to do, this is the same tuning curve. Everything is a little bit more squashed, but it's okay. So we're gonna raise our tuning curve, or we're gonna find our weakest link, our weakest speaker. So it looks like it's the blue mid. Okay, so we're gonna bring everything down. So we match the tuning curve to the lowest playing speaker. I'm not worrying about the sub because my sub is, the volume is turned really, really low. So that's what we're gonna do. So that's what we're gonna match the blue mid range, which is the front left mid range. So we're gonna set the levels like this. So we take the tweeter, front left tweeter, and we match the curve. Right, just get it as close as you can. Tweeter, and we match the curve. So we're gonna do the, this is a little bit hard because it doesn't fit on this screen. So I gotta do the orange one, I gotta bring it down. So we're gonna have to kind of go back and forth a little bit. And that's almost perfect. I think I have to bring it down a little tiny bit. And that is fine, maybe a little bit too much. So I need to figure out a way to make these things fit on this. That's fine. So we got those levels fine. Now we're gonna do the mid bass. Maybe I need to put them side by side. So how much do I need to low? So the red one, and the purple not so much. So which one is next? The red one I need to lower a little bit more. So we're gonna lower it. Look. And I always like my mid bass a little bit hotter. And that's fine. That's on the curve. And we're gonna do the purple one just a tad. Too much. Let's do it like that. And I think that's fine. I think that's perfect. I'm not gonna worry too much about the subwoofer, like I said. And then this looks very jagged because there's no smoothing. I like to do this without smoothing. So this is really good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now we're going to do the time alignment. So at this point, everything is getting saved. And I'm going to pause a little bit because I took measurements and I don't know where I left them. So let me pause the video. I'm going to take measurements and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back and all I did was take measurements from my ear to each one of the drivers, from my left ear to each one of the drivers on the left side, from my right ear to each one of the drivers on the right side, and of course from my head to the subwoofer. And my subwoofer is my reference because it's the speaker that I have the furthest away. So once you put the distance, you have units, inches or centimeters, depending on where you are. I'm in the US, so I'm going to use inches. And here it tells you the delay that you need to set on each driver. So that's what we're going to do now. We're just going to go ahead and set the delay. Where is this? So we're going to go to time alignment. And we're going to go, the left tweeter is 1.74 milliseconds. 1.74. The left 0.83, the left mid range, too much. There you go, 0.83. Mid bass, 131. So my right tweeter is 0.7. Uh, 56.5. My left mid, my right mid. What? No, that's not 56.5. It's 0.33. 0.33. 0.5 for the mid bass. And the sub 0 because that's my reference. So we're going to leave it at 0. So let's save this preset. We're going to call it FLT Res LB Dark. Save. Perfect. So we're almost done. I mean, I think we're pretty much done. So what we need to do at this point is make sure that everything is centered. So listen to this. So what we're going to do is we're going to mute everything. We're going to play the tweeters only and in the processor. Okay, we're not going to touch the tool anymore. In the processor, in the time alignment, you're going to move the left side only. Do not touch the right side. The left side only. You're going to move this delay left and right until it centers or until the image is where you want. Okay, some people like it right in front of you, you know, whatever you like, that's fine with me. I like my image between my tweeters. Okay, so that's where I am going to place it. What am I going to use to place it? I'm going to use music with a female voice. Okay, and so we're going to do the tweeters. We're going to place it in the center. We're going to do the mids. We're going to place it in the center. The tweeters and the mids are really easy to do, but the mid bass not so much. Okay, because you can't really hear the center. So what we're going to do is for the mid range, this is a trick that I like. You're going to bypass the crossover, so you're gonna let it go all the way up, and now you're gonna pinpoint it easier. Once you pinpoint it, you know, moving the left side again only, you're going to put it back. Okay, so let me do that and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back after the exercise. I moved my time alignment a little bit. The right side I left alone, and this is where I ended up on the left side. Okay, and yeah, man, it sounds really good. So I'm very happy with the results. So we're gonna save this preset just the way it is. Since I lost all my presets, this is gonna be my new tune until I decide to change it. And so let's continue with the demo. And now you have both versions have the generate report. Okay, so you can see everything that we did, including the grabs before EQ, after EQ, and these are all your EQ filters that we applied, and this is after we set the levels. Okay, so this is what your system looks like. It's going to be stored and everybody has it. And now for the shops, I mean, for the pro version, you have these two buttons, loading to REW. So if I click, let me show REW. So there's nothing in REW. So if for whatever reason you want to load this stuff into REW, you click this button, and everything is going to get loaded. See, it's just a little bit slow, but it's loading everything into REW, and it's labeled, you know, FLB, initial FLBs, front left B, front right, or rear, front left rear, front right rear, front left tweeter, front right tweeter, mid. I need to put front left rear, front right rear, front left tweeter levels. So you have the levels, you have the EQ, and you have the initial setting, all of them. And I think if you go, I don't know if I set it up, I think if you go to the EQ is actually the projected. Okay, so you have everything. Now, so that's okay. So if you want to revise what happened during the session, you can load it back into REW. But for the shops, again, this is for the shops, and this I like very much. So imagine once you're done with the tuning, you click on print, and let's do print to PDF, print, and FC tune. I'm going to leave in documents, save, and just imagine being able to print documents, right? Imagine being able to print this. Let's just do Google Chrome, I don't care. Print this report and give it to your customer. How professional are you going to look if you have this, you know, the whole history of what happened, what you did, and everything related to this tune, and you hand it off to your customer for them to take. It's the little things, and I think this is super cool. As a shop, if you print this and you give it to your customer, I think besides the tune, you're gonna blow their minds. So that's it, guys, and just look out. Trying to resolve some domain name issues that I'm having, and I'm gonna be releasing this very soon. I'm gonna be going on vacation, so when I get back, I'll get this all sorted so everybody can start using this thing. All right, so that's it for now. Thank you, and see you on the next one.